Hold onto your hats, NFL fans, because we've got a blockbuster trade proposal that could shake up the league in a way we haven't seen in years. What if I told you that two of the most talented all-pro playmakers in the game today could be swapping teams? We're talking about a potential trade that would send one of the NFL's most dynamic defensive players, Micah Parsons, from the Dallas Cowboys to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for one of the most versatile offensive weapons in the game, Deebo Samuel. Can you even imagine the ramifications of such a move? Let's break it all down. The Dallas Cowboys have been making headlines for all sorts of reasons this offseason, and it looks like they might have a major decision to make involving their star edge rusher, Micah Parsons. The Cowboys are desperately hoping to lock up Parsons, one of the most electrifying defenders in the league, to a long-term deal. Parsons has been a game-changer since entering the league, and he's quickly become one of the most dominant defensive players in the NFL. With his combination of speed, strength, and ability to disrupt the quarterback, Parsons has cemented himself as a cornerstone of the Cowboys' defense. However, despite all the praise and recognition Parsons has received, there are some growing concerns about the future of his contract with Dallas. Parsons has made it clear that he wants to remain with the Cowboys long-term, but there are whispers that things may not be as smooth as they appear behind closed doors. In fact, there have been rumblings that Parsons has been frustrated with how things are playing out with his contract negotiations. It seems that there are some unresolved issues, and the situation could come to a head sooner rather than later. This has led to several trade rumors swirling around Parsons, and while the Cowboys have firmly denied any interest in trading him, NFL insiders have suggested that there have been internal discussions about the possibility. Now, before you panic and think this is just another exaggerated rumor, it's important to note that this is far from the first time a star player has been at the center of trade speculation, especially when there are contract disputes involved. But here's where things get even more interesting. What if the situation were to escalate, and the Cowboys ultimately decided to part ways with Parsons? Enter former NFL quarterback Kurt Benkert, who recently made waves during a live stream on Bleacher Report. Benkert, known for his candid takes and bold opinions, dropped a bombshell trade proposal that immediately caught the attention of NFL fans and analysts alike. He suggested that the Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers should explore a trade that would send Parsons to the 49ers in exchange for none other than Deebo Samuel, along with some draft picks. Now, this is a trade that could absolutely shake the foundation of both teams. Micah Parsons in San Francisco? Deebo Samuel in Dallas? It's a move that has the potential to change the entire landscape of the NFC. Benkert explained his reasoning behind the proposal, and it's worth diving into. According to him, it seems like Parsons might be getting a little frustrated with the situation in Dallas. We all know that contract disputes can sometimes sour a player's relationship with the team, and if the Cowboys aren't able to resolve these issues soon, things could reach a boiling point. Benkert also made a fascinating point about Deebo Samuel's fit with the Cowboys. He argued that Deebo could be the perfect addition to an offense that already has a top-tier receiver in CeeDee Lamb and a quarterback in Dak Prescott who can distribute the ball effectively. Deebo's versatility as both a wide receiver and a running back could make him an even bigger weapon in Dallas' already explosive offense. Imagine having Deebo Samuel running gadget plays out of the backfield while still being a threat in the passing game. With his ability to take a short pass and turn it into a long gain, or break off big runs out of the backfield, Deebo would be a perfect fit for what Dallas already does well. Benkert also touched on another fascinating point about Deebo's skill set. He said, "I think Deebo could actually fill a role as a running back, receiver gadget player in the right spread system. And when you think about the way Dallas runs their offense, a player like Deebo could thrive. He would be an instant mismatch for opposing defenses." But that's not all. Benkert also made a strong case for Parsons potentially thriving in the 49ers defensive system. He said, "I could see Micah going up to San Francisco, trying to compete alongside another defensive end that's going to make his job easier." And that's a really interesting point. The 49ers already have a fierce defensive line, led by the likes of Nick Bosa, one of the best pass rushers in the game. If Parsons were to join that group, he could see his sack numbers go up even more. The pressure on opposing quarterbacks would be immense, and Parsons' ability to disrupt the pocket would mesh perfectly with San Francisco's already dominant defense. The 49ers have a reputation for building one of the most well-rounded and dangerous defensive units in the league, and adding a player like Parsons would only make them more dangerous. Now, as enticing as this trade proposal might sound, let's not get too carried away just yet. While there's certainly merit to the idea of swapping two elite players to benefit both teams, there's one huge hurdle that could prevent this trade from happening. Micah Parsons is a generational talent. It's not every day that a player like Parsons enters the NFL, and trading him away would be a colossal decision for the Cowboys. We're talking about a player who is already one of the best at his position, and he's still incredibly young. Parsons has the potential to be the face of the Cowboys' defense for the next decade, and giving that up would be a massive gamble. Dallas fans have been dreaming of a defense led by Micah Parsons for years, and the thought of trading him away is hard to fathom. But the reality is that the Cowboys have to consider all their options if contract talks with Parsons don't go smoothly. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's also a possibility that the front office may have to entertain. The idea of trading Parsons to San Francisco would undoubtedly leave a huge hole in the Cowboys' defense, but it could also provide them with a player like Deebo Samuel who would elevate their offense to another level. However, this is a big if. There's also the issue of whether or not Deebo Samuel would even want to leave the 49ers in the first place. While Deebo is one of the most dynamic and versatile playmakers in the league, the 49ers are a team on the rise, and they've been built for long-term success. The prospect of joining the Cowboys could be appealing in terms of playing with a top-tier quarterback like Dak Prescott, but would he want to leave a system that has already showcased his talents in so many ways? There are a lot of questions here that go beyond just the players involved. There's the matter of team culture, fit, and how both teams would adjust to the new look of their rosters. For now, all we can do is speculate, because while this trade idea is fun to think about, it's hard to say how realistic it really is. One thing is certain, though, Micah Parsons is not just any player. He's one of the best defensive players in the NFL, and it would take a lot for the Cowboys to move him. So, while this trade proposal might make sense on paper, it's hard to envision the Cowboys pulling the trigger on such a major move. Let's not forget, too, that Parsons has expressed a desire to remain in Dallas for the long haul. He's said on multiple occasions that he wants to be a Cowboy for life, and that's something that could weigh heavily on both him and the team as contract negotiations progress. If Dallas can come to terms with Parsons and lock him up to a long-term deal, the prospect of a trade will likely fade into the background. But if things go south, the possibility of a trade like this becomes more and more real. So, what do you think? Could this trade between the Cowboys and 49ers actually work? Would Micah Parsons fit into the 49ers defense, and would Deebo Samuel take the Cowboys offense to new heights? Or do you think Dallas should hold on to Parsons and find another way to make it work with him long-term? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. One thing's for sure, the NFL offseason is never boring, and moves like this show us just how wild and unpredictable it can get. As always, if you want to stay up to date on the latest news, rumors, and trade speculations, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more NFL news coming your way, and you won't want to miss it. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.